Welcome to No Stats, where we call it how we see it.
You can't see me.
We got to talk about this women's national championship game, man. LSU versus Iowa, the most watched women's college basketball game in history. I think everybody was tuned in. All sports fans was kind of tuned into this one. You had Caitlin Clark, who had an amazing run. You had this LSU team who I thought was the better overall team. But I think Caitlin Clark gained a lot of the viewers, though, right? Because she been hooping, bro. She been balling. I don't know. The numbers speak for themselves. Against South Carolina, she had 46 and 9. And then she even put up 30 and 8 in the national championship game. I think getting in foul trouble early hurt them. But what's your thoughts on it? Let me hear your recap before I dive in and do mine.
Oh man! First off, big shout out to Caitlin Clark. I think she had a sort of like a Steph Curry at Davidson type of run, type of flair to her game. You know, the type of shot she takes. You don't really see that in the girl game.
Nah.
20 side step. Pull up in your mid. I don't give a fuck. Like,
yeah.
But she's an exciting player to watch, and I think that's what drew in a lot of the viewers. Her knocking off South Carolina, which was the juggernaut, the heavyweight. And I want to shout out LSU for, coming into this game, accepting the challenge, and knocking off this hot Iowa team. Angela Reese is a dog, man. And I'm here for all of that shit. All the swag, the taunting, yeah. Turn that game up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
we don't see that shit in the women's game, especially in college,
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I don't want to step on any toes. Man, fuck
everybody
that. Be
nice.
yourself.
Yeah.
Everybody nice. Be yourself. And I think Caitlin Clark did a good job of kind of bringing that out a little more. You see that with Kaylee Vanworth. I'm sorry if I'm saying her name wrong, but the guard from Louisville, lefty. She's a bucket. She really gets to it, and she has that type of swag to her game, where she'll give you buckets and she'll be talking shit too. So I just like the atmosphere that's surrounding the girls' game right now, and I think it's gonna carry over for years to come. I do want to see Caitlin Clark go to the league. I don't think she's going to leave. I think she will return.
She has to, bro.
Who knows?
She has to.
Unfinished business?
Yeah, she has to because of the eligibility. I forget how it goes, but she has to go back for another year. I forget how the women's basketball. It's not the same.
I thought she was a junior, right? But
bro,
3 years, right? Because she had a COVID year,
Yes, I think so. But no, I agree with you wholeheartedly, bro. I think Caitlin Clark was the attraction of the women's national tournament. I mean, I'll click it on. I'll turn it on for a second. To watch South Carolina, Dawn Stelly from Philly. So I'll check her out and things like that. But I was glued, bro. Even the Final Four, I was glued in to see how Caitlin Clark would perform against South Carolina. And when I found out, when I checked the store and they were winning, it's like, oh, I think everybody turned their TV on like, she going off 40. I think I texted you like 46.
Yeah, because we was talking about that money line. That money line was.
It was, bro. And that's a South Carolina team that was big favorites to win, that women's national championship. And Caitlin Clark came in that Iowa team. You got to give it to them, too, because she's drawn so much attention. She's able to kick it out, and they have shooters. They got a big. I'm drawing a blank on her name. But they got a big that plays well. So they were figuring some things out, and they were playing well throughout the entirety of the tournament. Now, this LSU team, I think there was just – they wanted it a little more. Like, you can tell a team on a mission, right? You can tell a team that – the team that's hungrier, and it looked like it was LSU, man. I think they got contributions from everybody, including their bench. What was the girl's name? They start calling her LSU Spice. What would they call it? What was her name? Jasmine Clark? Am I saying it right?
Was it Carson?
Jasmine Carson, yeah.
The one that was shooting the three, she was letting that thing.
Jasmine Carson. 5 for 5. bro, 21 points in the first half. That last three, the buzzer beater to go into the first half, off the backboard, threw it up. She was starting rock in the ocean in that first half. Those are the Jones where you feel good. Like at the first half, I told my wife, I said, she probably having the best day of her life. Bro, you know them.
That was
like
it's national. That was like you at Penn State Hazleton on the road, guys.
Bro, she was feeling it, bro, and it's hard to overcome that when the starters are in foul trouble, right? So they're out, and the bench steps up and plays at that high level. It's hard to overcome that because now you have a bench player she averaged 8 points, I believe. She almost tripled that, right? In one half. And that's getting the team fired up. Now when the starters come back in, there's a rejuvenation. They got that juice.
They carry that momentum.
Absolutely, bro. And I just felt like it would be hard for Iowa to keep back in it. But with Caitlin Clark, I'm like, it's still possible. You know, she was in foul trouble early. But I agree with you. I think this is going to carry over into the women's NCAA tournaments to come. I think more people are going to be glued in. I think this is great for women's basketball, man. We get, what's her name? Paige. What's the girl from UConn?
Oh, Paige
hurt.
Buckets? Yeah. Is that Paige Buckets for real? Is her last name really Buckets?
I don't think her last name
really
Bucket,
a bucket.
But she a bucket.
That's what we call her.
Yeah, but she comes back next year. You get Caitlin Clark back for another year. Dawn Stelly in South Carolina is going to be good. Stanford's going to be good. So
Louisville's still going to be
Louisville's going to be good. So I think it's going to be nice. LSU, we can't count out the national champions. But I think this is good for the sport as a whole. But I do want to ask you your thoughts on you can't see me, the pointing at the ring at the end of the game. It was a lot of controversy about that, bro. I seen a lot of, sports media talking about that today. And I want to know your thoughts, right? Because they said it stemmed from Caitlin Clark did it, right, after a bucket. And then that South Carolina game, she flagged the girl at the top of the key for the three. Me personally, the flag, I think that is what it is. If you can't shoot, I'm gonna flag somebody.
Do the same thing.
Shoot it. Yeah. So that wasn't. That wasn't
like a mind thing.
Exactly. But let me know your thoughts on the whole controversy and everything that they've been talking about.
Honestly, I don't see nothing wrong with it. I think, like I said, Caitlin kind of started it, and as a basketball player, when you see these things, you keep notes. Angel Reese was probably waiting for that moment in the game that she could come and get back at her. Like, this is a little bit of taste of your own medicine. Yeah. And I heard the interview. She said that, Caitlin Clark is a phenomenal player. She gave her flowers. Absolutely. She said, but, those is her peoples down there in South Carolina. Those are still, her peoples. And, this is for her girls that, I feel like she was just giving Caitlin Clark a taste of her own medicine, and it was a little bit of a double standard there. They were saying that Caitlin was being a competitor, she got that dog in her, and then they were saying like Angela was a little classless with maybe she could have been a little bit more easier on it. You know what I mean? But you got your emotions in the game, man. That shit is part
it's a national championship
You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Like, come on.
It's a national championship game. And these girls are what, 18, 19?
Yeah.
17 years old, bro. Even in the men's game, right? Like, I think we try to want everybody to be classy and all of that. And like you said, it's not like Caitlin Clark wasn't taunting and in the moment, right? And when she was having her moments, you're in the moment. She gave her flowers, and Caitlin Clark after the game, they asked her about the Angel Reese thing, and she was like, "All I know is that in the handshake line, she was it was very sportsmanlike, sportsmanship." She said, "Great player, great game, love playing against you." That's what it's really about.
That's what it's about. I know players don't have no problem with it.
Exactly.
Then who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I agree. I know she followed her and she stayed in her face, and but it's sports, man. I think because it's women, people took it to another level. But it is what it is. It's sports, and if she is that close to South Carolina, like if I'm playing and you just lost to this team and they just flagged you off for 3 or something like that, I'm like, bro, I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get her back for you. I'm gonna get them back for you.
I'm gonna get her and let them know, man.
Exactly. So I get that. And at the end of the day, man, like I said, I feel like it's all respect between Iowa and LSU and Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. I don't think it's I think they're blowing it out of proportion. And
like
maybe
the sports world always does.
Absolutely. And maybe even I'm gonna be honest, maybe even I think Angel Reese.
Reese, yeah.
Angel Reese, I think she blew the flag out of proportion. Like, she flagged them. We took that to heart. But it's like, how you going to get mad? Because she can't shoot.
That's what I'm saying.
I would have done the same thing. Like, go ahead, shoot that shit. You tripping. Like, you ain't hitting that.
Prove to me. And mind you, she didn't even shoot it.
And she didn't.
As a coach, not to cut you off, bro, but as a coach, I'm sorry, but you got to come sit down next to me. Like, you have to come sit next to me. If you're not going to shoot that damn shot, I don't care who you are. I don't care what the percentages is on the season. I don't care if you done missed your last 3. I need you to keep the defense honest at least. You miss a couple straight.
Yeah.
Boom,
that was Ben Simmons.
Still gotta pull your ass.
That was Ben Simmons. Bro, NBA players do that all the time to Ben Simmons. They sink all the way in the paint. Maybe they don't flag, but it's the same thing. The flag is just saying I'm not going out there.
At all,
You're not
bro.
Gonna shoot it. That's all. I didn't think that was big.
This is why I like Russell Westbrook, because Russ don't give a fuck. He's gonna shoot that. He's gonna shoot that shit. Now, when he first got to the Clippers, he would have 1 or 2 games. He's still figuring it out. He might not shoot it, trying to get others involved. But bro, once that man get comfortable, he's been playing very well. By the way, we'll say that for another day. But you gotta keep the defense honest in those situations, because you're only hurting your team by not taking that shot. Then you're probably thinking too much, because you're like, damn, like I'm this wide open.
Yep.
Baby, shoot the ball.
It's psychological games, bro. That's what you do, right? But sports is, I know it's physical, right? But it's also mental. If somebody's leaving you out there and they're flagging you, that's kind of bringing down your confidence throughout the game. So I think Caitlin Clark did what she was supposed to do. Like I said, I would have did the same exact thing in that circumstance. So Angel Reese had every right to celebrate. It's in the spirit of the moment. It is what it is. She gave her props, like you said. She gave her flowers. I don't think that's a big deal. But I also don't think the flagging that Caitlin Clark did to the South Carolina girl, I'm drawing a blank on her name. But I don't think that was disrespectful either. I think it was just basketball. I think they played basketball. If it was men, they would have dropped it. Congratulations.
Wouldn't even have made
LSU.
Too much of a big deal of it, too.
Exactly.
And shout out, and once again, congrats to LSU. Yeah. National championships, that's big. But big shout out to Caitlin Clark. What she's doing for the girls' game.
She's a bucket,
for the girls' game, like you talking about 40-point triple double, 40-point back-to-back 40s. Like you went back-to-back 40s in the NCAA tournament. Ridiculous. Not through South Carolina. Imagine the confidence that's trickling down on these younger girls that's up and coming, bro. That's changing the game, bro. You see it. Like I said, she gave me that Steph Curry at Davidson Field. When you see Steph Curry, he's like, bro, what the hell is he doing? Like, and DeJounte Murray spoke on Curry in his interview with All the Smoke, saying how, he was like, yo, I got to watch this kid from Davidson. Like, this kid from Davidson. And just the effect that Curry was having on people, I think Caitlin's going to have this same thing, because you see the shit that she does, you don't see a lot of girls doing this type of shit, bro. If any, like.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro, it was amazing. I mean, every time I looked up, like, I thought South Carolina was going to get Iowa. I think mostly everybody. The line, Vegas thought so, too. But, man, she had other plans. And like I said, hat off to her, hat off to LSU. I think this is great for women's basketball, moving forward. And, we'll revisit this next year.